Aloha. I think this thing is buffering skipping, I don't know. But if anybody comes on, let me know if I'm skipping or freezing or buffering. This is God's girl in the building, all the way from the Aloha State, Honolulu, Hawaii. And, oh wow, y'all coming on. What y'all doing up this time of night? Please excuse me, this cough is still throwing shade on my greatness, but I had a great window of opportunity to do this unfiltered, so I just wanted to go ahead and take it. And y'all just be praying for this little cough. Maybe an anointing will come upon me and the cough will subside. But in any case, thank you so much for tuning in to another broadcast of God's Girl Unfiltered. I am in fact she, God's Girl, and God's Girl Unfiltered, for anyone who has not witnessed this movement, it's the real, raw, and relevant, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help me, Lord, about my life, my journey, the chronicles I call them. And on occasions I do bring in guests to share. So if I'm ever speaking on something that touches where you are, please let me know. If we have the time and space, then I can bring you on to the broadcast to share. That would be awesome, because it's not just about me, it's about the people. And everything is common under the sun. There's nothing new. We all share the same challenges, but many of us suffer in silence because others won't share, especially those of us that are in leadership positions. And not that when you have the microphone, you're a leader. So because I sing and do things over the microphone on the stage, people automatically look up to you or look to you as a knower, so as a good knower. So I try to hold myself accountable to that, and be an example that the people can follow, an example of truth, love, light, giving, sharing, and the list. Yeah, you get it. Just something positive, just positivity. So anybody on, ask you to tag, follow, share with your family, your friends, show enough your enemies, because we know they need deliverance, for real. And I just want to give a little update on where I am spiritually, geographically, mentally, emotionally. If you saw the title, this Unfiltered is the 7-year update. And it goes back further than 7, but I first came to Hawaii. Well, not first, but the first time I came on an assignment, God gave me orders, was December 2010. And I thought that I was coming to work on a cruise ship, but God literally used the cruise ship to pay the bills to bring me here. I don't like this little glare. Yeah, God used the cruise ship to buy the plane ticket, pay for my luggage, whatever credentials I needed as far as the ship, they paid for that. So the ship paid the bill to get me to this island. God had been giving me dreams and visions of Hawaii 3 years prior to that, but it was a little weird to me because it wasn't on my bucket list. I had already come on vacation several years back. I came here business first class under my flight attendant benefits back in 2002. So I'm like, okay, I came. If I come again, fine. If I don't, fine. But God the island was calling for me. He had an assignment and a purpose for me in this island, and he made me some promises in this island, and I'm watching them unfold day by day. But in any case, I wanted to do this last week on December 18th, but I was coughing worse than this. Like, this is just the end of the cold cough, like the dry cough, But I was a mess, so I couldn't do it then. But I think now it's better because some other things have transpired since then. So this is good. This is God's timing. But in any case, I came to the island, and when I got off the ship, I failed the Coast Guard mandated test. I failed the test, and when I got off the ship, they gave me a ticket back to Norfolk. That was their protocol. They let you know that if you didn't, pass all the credentials, that they would send you back home. No love lost, no problem. But I had a friend here that was in the Air Force, and he's from Norfolk. And I heard the Spirit of the Lord say, tell him you need to stay. Call him. I'm like, and really he was a friend of an ex-boyfriend, so we weren't super close, but, we just had a good rapport from hanging out with the family. And sure enough, I called him, and he was right there. He came right to pick me up as if I had plans to kind of be here over the holiday. It was days before Christmas, December 18th, but he came, picked me up. I went and hung out at his place, and then the journey went on and on. So anyway, December 18th, that was December 18th, 2010. So I wasn't really surprised that God would give me that type of instruction, because December 18th is monumental for me. And I'll say 12/18 instead because it's easier. But in this 12/18/2006, if any of you remember from previous Unfiltered, that is the date that God called me off my job to be a full-time intercessor. I was working at QVC in the call center in Chesapeake, Virginia, and the message came to me, and sure enough, on December 18th, 2006, that was my final day working in that capacity. Now, just a quick insert. I've worked other jobs since then, and but I'm more so business driven and ministry driven. But when a season comes that God will send me to a 9-to-5, I adhere to it, and it always has a purpose. It's always to make a connection, to learn some information, pick something up, to drop something off. So don't be totally frustrated by your 9-to-5 when you know God has spoken to you ministry and business full time, because that 9-to-5 just may have a greater purpose than just that paycheck, or it may not have a purpose at all. It might really be time for you to go. However, be led of God in all things. So, back to the point. On December 18, 2006, when I put in my 2 weeks notice, I'll never forget this. I put it in, when you walk into the building at QVC, it's a call center, so it doesn't take a lot of special, attention and all of this to quit a job. I just nicely put my 2 weeks notice in the human resources mailbox, and I went to my desk to start work for the day. So as I was sitting at my desk, I started to clean out my purse. That was always the best time to do it. And an old church program was in there, and it had one scripture, and it was out of Mark 5. So I said, let me go see what this is. And sure enough, it was the account from the woman with the issue of blood, where Jesus spoke to her and said, daughter, your faith has made you whole. And when I saw that, I just began to tremble, and the hair began to stand up on my arms all over my body, like it's even doing now, because I knew that was God speaking to me, telling me that in my obedience to take up my cross and follow him, leave this earthly job behind, per his instructions, that my faith had activated something amazing. Now, that amazing came with a lot of ups and downs, backwards, forwards, a lot. And that's been 11 years now. However, definitely my faith has made me whole, meaning wholeness in mind, wholeness in spirit, wholeness in knowing who I am and the purpose that God has for me, and still learning and walking it out day by day, but the wholeness in being one with Him and trusting Him and being on this journey of walking by faith and not by sight, and trusting God and just being obedient to Him and His plan, and not getting comfortable with the social rules and protocols and structures, or even the church religion structure and protocol, and you know what I'm saying. We'll get more into that later. So that's what I took as, daughter, your faith has made you whole. So from that moment, it had been a whirlwind. So rolling tape forward to going back to the future to December 18th, 2010, when I got off the cruise ship, and I knew I heard the Lord saying to call this young man and tell him I need to stay on the island. Of course, yes, in my humanity, I'm saying, like, God, you really only have like $8 in my pocket? You know, that's always the case, always coins, because that's how He does it. But when I called him, he picked me up. I went to his place. Everything was good. And then for like the first 3 days, I was in like a comatose hibernation. And I had a dream again. I redreamed a dream that God had given me months before I came to Hawaii in 2010. And the dream basically was showing me that I was going to fail that test. But when I saw it initially, I didn't know what it meant. But in those 3 days of hibernation, He brought the dream back. And when I saw it again, I was like, whoa. I knew exactly what it meant then. And I was like, okay. And so a peace came over me in knowing that I wasn't just a screw up, just like a failure. Because, of course, sometimes your mind will do that to you. And it was designed to be that way. So I spent 1.5 years on the island from December 2018 December 18th, 2010 to May 3rd, 2012. I'll never forget those days because they were like the biggest beginning and endings or pauses in my life. I'll never forget those moments. They're monumental. And when I went home in May 2012 to Virginia, it was really my goal just to be there for the summer because I hadn't been back there in the entire 18 months that I was here. So I just wanted to take those 3 months, hang out, definitely get out of Dodge before the winter came, because now I'm like a classic island girl. The winter, like, aloha, Miss Renee, love you, baby. On Christmas, y'all saw a couple days ago on Christmas, I was at the beach. We don't do snow and ice and all that around here. On Christmas, we boogie board in the Pacific Ocean. Huh? So anyway, I was definitely not trying to be still on the East Coast beyond the fall. No. But God had another plan. That's a whole other chronicle. So rolling tape forward to December 18, 2017. Last week, Monday. Again, another monumental day. For many of you that had been following the journey, I've been dealing with an eviction. And I shifted. I did move. And the issue with the eviction is that my rent was paid. It wasn't because of non-payment. It was because the woman I was renting from, who was also a roommate, she was just very controlling and arrogant and selfish and so many other things. And I know you do. And she ended up having a temper tantrum and evicted me. So the issue with that is I still had to pay her and find somewhere to move. I mean, wow, I go to work, but like most people, I didn't have enough money because this wasn't a planned move. I didn't have enough money to keep paying her rent and prepare, a first month rent and deposit for a new location, I didn't have it. So, excuse me, in my obedience to go live, because I'm going to tell y'all something. Although this probably looks easy because it's an anointing when I come on and let me get this washer because it's going to keep buzzing. Oh, please. Oh, please. Well, I didn't take you with me. I ain't take you with me. But I had to turn this washer off. It's like, beep, beep. At least I know I'm clean in here washing clothes. Oh, wait a minute. Is that the power? Okay, there we go. So anyway, this is God's Girl Unfiltered. Matter of fact, I'm going to put the clothes in the dryer while we at it. God's Girl Unfiltered is giving it to y'all real raw and uncut right now. God's Girl doing laundry in the whole 9 yards. So, I love it. I'm saying like, wait, that's my show. I can do laundry if I want to. So, and that works. So, a few weeks ago, it was in my spirit to go live. I'm like, God, I don't want to do it. He's like, okay, but I'm telling you to do it. And I did it. And on that live, a friend of mine who used to live here, he hit like on it. And he was like the only one to hit like, I promise you. And I was like, oh, well, let me ask him to see if he has any connections or resources still on the island. And mind you, he's in the Air Force and he's not even on the island. He's all the way in Fort Leavenworth, nowhere near here. But this is just the power of technology and faith and favor and, you know, sowing seed and reaping harvest and whatnot. So I reached out to him to see if he knew anybody. Sure enough, a friend of his here on the island is a real estate agent. So he connected me with her. She has this condo, which I am currently in the condo that, you know, is open and available, 1-bedroom condo. The other, it has a studio connected to it, separate entrance, but it's right down here in Waikiki on the Lanai. I mean, it's on the Alawai. It's nice. It's very nice. It's in prime real estate. It's clean. It's nice. It's peaceful. And when she called me, not this past Saturday, but the week prior, Saturday, to find out, you know, what I needed, what was up, I just explained to her the scenario. And she said, well, how about this? She said, the place is there, it's available. Now, mind you, she wasn't even on the island herself. She's in Vegas, chilling with her family. But she said, I'm going to connect you with my assistant, and she can meet you there, give you the key. And, you know, for now, you just need somewhere to transition. You know, now you get it. Now, I've been trying to call this fool forever. He would call while I'm going live. Hold on. Wait a minute. He would call while I'm going live. So in any case, she was like, just go, enjoy the place, get you some rest. Don't worry about the money. We'll work it out later. Because she's really trying to sell the place still. And that's fine. But in the meantime, I can stay here without having to pay any rent for however long I'm here. And I can save. Yo, this fool would try to call me right when I'm on the live. I've been trying to call him for like a year. Hold on a second, y'all. This is a real straight up unfiltered right now. This God's Girl Unfiltered is so ghetto right now. But it's real. It's raw and it's relevant and it's right now. It's real time. Hold on. Hold, please. Wait a minute. Hold on. And so, long story short, the door opened for me to come here and transition and get myself together. And so here I am. She's still trying to sell the place. That could be forever, that could be never, I don't know. But in the meantime, she opened her door and her heart for me to come and have someone, because my eviction date was Christmas Day. Keith, look, I said of all the times for you to call me, you would call me while I'm doing a live video. Like I'm literally talking to you on my live video right now, because, you know, that's what I do. But what's up? Where you at? Because you know I'm down the street. Where you at? You about to do what? Oh, so, I mean, you going to be at the house for a second? Oh, you about to take her to the airport. Oh, I'm doing a live video and then I was going to find some food. I'm like literally talking to you on this phone while I'm on the live. This is so ghetto. I love it. Well, look, I got you on speakerphone. Hold up. I got you on speakerphone. Say hey to my live.
What up, live? What up? K-Boogie.
I can't with you, K-Boogie. K-Boogie, y'all. Okay, so call me when you get coming back from the airport. Don't forget now. Stop it. Now call me on my regular number. Okay. Love you. Bye. Bye. Oh God, I'm so glad I'm in charge of this show, all of this. So anyway, as my brother Keith, I love him with my whole soul. For all of y'all that know Keith Hunter, you know what I mean. So anyway, then when she gets back in town, we can discuss, you know, if I'm going to stay, and we work out some payment arrangements, or, you know, she's a real estate agent, so she was like, whatever's going to happen, I can help you figure out what the next step is. But the point is, when I could have been outside or just scrambling, you know, a door was open to me right on time, and it was because of faith and favor and just having a good rapport with people. And I've never even met this woman, and she gives me the keys to her condo, and she says to me that a friend of the gentleman that made the connection, she said a friend of his is a friend of mine. And I've been at her place for a little over a week. Saturday made a week, and she hasn't called me to bother me and figure out what I'm doing in her house. None of that. And in addition, her assistant and I have an amazing rapport, and we really kind of speak the same language as far as positivity and, you know, love, light, business, and, you know, just pursuing your destiny and your dreams. So it's been really good having someone to consistently speak that language with. She's a very powerful sister. I love her. I love her spirit. So I know I'm in the right place. For such a time as right now. But my point is, as far as December 18th, 2017, I woke up in this place. Like, I woke up. I went to sleep one way and I woke up another. It's almost like the story of Joseph, how one morning he woke up in the prison, and that same night he went to sleep in the palace. It was kind of one of those scenarios. So I just I worship in the midst of that. Now, in the midst of that, I caught this crazy cold. So I'm all excited, like, oh, you know, I got some money, I'm working, and I'll be able to at least have a whole week's check to invest in something else, and, you know, another business venture I'm trying to do. So then I get sick and couldn't even go to work. So my check this week was like, girl, boo. And I was so frustrated. I'm like, God, why? Why I gotta be sick on a week when I can actually take the money to invest in something to, you know, to accumulate more money, you know, to move forward. But what I realized is I did need the rest. I didn't feel bad. I just couldn't go to work sneezing and coughing all over everybody. And my body appreciated sitting still in this place. I haven't been in my own space when nobody's in the space but me in 10 years. 10 years. So even if I'm just only in this space for like a week or two, a month, I'm just appreciating the fact that I can be here now, and it's peaceful, and it's just me, and it's quiet. Sometimes the assistant, I'm saying about the sister, she'll come by, we'll kick it, but that doesn't count. She's cool, she's not like in the space being a nuisance. We're building each other, and it's amazing. So, when I was here in 2010, and here it is 2017, and it's to allude to the 7-year update, that leg of the journey back then was very hard. Now, it's hard now. However, now I know who I am. That time then was training. It was a learning period for me to know what my purpose is, why God put me here, what my gifts are, what beyond. I'm not talking about singing. No, I'm not talking about singing at all. I'm talking about what my spiritual gifts are, what my office in the spirit is, what God put me here for. And I was able to learn that in that time. And I'm still learning, still have questions, and still growing, but it was a very definitive moment. It was on an OJT. Of course I had the Bible, but the way God deals with me a lot of the times is I'll go through something and then I'll see the word on it. I'll go through it, and then after it's all said and done, and I'm barely hanging on, barely surviving it, then I will see, he will send me to the word to let me know what I just experienced. It's the craziest thing. But that time back in 2010, that year and a half was a training, and it was time for me to sow seed and form relationships that would connect me to people that are like now. Daughter, what's up, baby? Oh my God, I miss you. Y'all gotta come out here. Daughter, oh ba shataraba. I love him, I love him, I love him. Pastor Melissa McGregor, ladies and gentlemen. And so it was just, I was sowing seed in that time, seed of myself, of my obedience, and just learning how to maneuver with God alone, and not relying on family or friends or familiar church settings. It was just me and God. And I had a couple intercessory teams on the mainland that would cover me and almost be like a military intelligence. They would let me know, hey, don't do this. Hey, don't do that. Stay in today. Go out. Literally, because there was a hit out on me, and it still is. But I can say it, because I know what it is, and that's fine. But, the leaders here in this island, and it's a Jezebel spirit to be exact, and we'll go back over that in another broadcast, but they literally identified what I walked in prophetically, and I didn't even know yet. I learned it in that time. And I literally had a situation where I was at this ministry. Oh, Prophet Tina, hey, I love you, aloha. I was at this ministry where the pastor, she's a Jezebel queen, like straight up chief, ranking, running in this island. And 2 weeks before this thing happened, I got a phone call from an apostle in Virginia, and she didn't know anything that was going on over here. She said, the spirit of Jezebel that runs that island has identified you and what you walk in. Don't be surprised if someone tries to bribe you to get off the island. When I tell you 2 weeks later, this pastor had me in her office, offered me a plane ticket back to Virginia. And I was just like, what, skirt? I just looked at her like, whoa, because I just got the word. And what I had to say to her was, even when I was scrambling and I was struggling and I really wanted to take that ticket because I was dealing with homelessness and all this kind of crazy stuff, much like I'm kind of experiencing now, but it's different because I get it. But what I had to say to her was, I appreciate the offer. However, God sent me here and I can't leave until he releases me. And she looked at me like I had really stone cold lost my mind, because she thought that ticket was going to get me up out of here. I said, no, baby, I got to do what God say. And it was a journey. Like that church, they took me through the ringers. Because even after all of that, God wouldn't let me leave. I had to stay because there was something I had to learn. I had to see that spirit eye to eye, and I had to learn how to contend with it. I had to. I had to. I had to go behind the enemy's line and study that thing and see how it operated. But God only gave it so much power. So even though I was there and I was worn out and I was tired, it was trying to wear me out, it couldn't go beyond the power that God had given it and given me. So, I understood it. I went through it. And although I almost lost my life, and when I say lose my life, I'm not even literally just talking about a physical death, but I was almost like a dead man walking, because as Jezebel comes to drain the prophetic. So it was rough, but at the same time, I know it was necessary, because now, hindsight, me being here 7 years later, the spirit is still there. I still see it. It still exists. And I'm still dealing with it in different capacities, but I know how to maneuver with it, and I'm not intimidated by it. And even though, yes, it still makes me tired, but still I know, like, look, greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world. So you keep trying it. I'm going to keep trying it. We're going to figure it out. Both of us on this island, and I'm not going nowhere till God say so once again. So I'm good. You can wear yourself out. You can do whatever you want to do till you blue in the face. I'm good. I'm going to stay with God, and I'm going to stay on this island until I get a fresh order. So I feel like there was a bit of a ramble, but maybe it wasn't. But this is the point. This is the piece I want to get to. My 7-year update from to God sending me to this island in 2010 to him sending me back now, 2017. Be authentically who you are. This is what I've learned. If you have to defy family, friends, social systems and statuses, church rules and regulations, protocols, who to calls, whatever. Be authentically who you know God has made you. You want to know why? A, you can't please everybody. God, you can please. And he's the only one that matters. Without faith, it's impossible to please him. Faith is for being obedient to God. Faith isn't for houses and cars and money and land. No. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all that other stuff will be added. If it's necessary, you may not even need it for your journey. Determine what's necessary for your journey. Stop trying to accumulate things just because everybody else has it or think you should have it. Or no. Only desire what's necessary for your purpose. I just right now just hear what is it? Ease on down the road. Don't you carry nothing that's gonna be a load. That's why God told the disciples, take nothing for your journey. The apostles, don't take nothing. What you need? You don't need it. Because when you go, when he sends you and you're obedient, if you look at the word and the different apostles and the different places that they went, when they went and spread the gospel and did what God told them to do, the people took care of them. Excuse me. They made provisions for them. So don't frustrate yourself with tangible things if they're not in line with your purpose. Because it's only going to be what I just said, a frustration, an unnecessary weight, a load. Just imagine had I just accumulated so much stuff and God had me getting rid of stuff over the years. Getting rid of it. Some of it I lost, some of it I had to give away. But hindsight now, as I sit here, I didn't need it for where I was going. I didn't need big leather coats and leather boots and all this stuff to be in Hawaii. Well, all I need is a flip-flop and a two-piece. See what I'm saying? That's just a small point, a small demonstration. Be authentically who God made you. Don't desire what others have, because they might not even need it, or they might be in bondage to it. Don't be in bondage to tangible things. That stuff is going to burn wood, stubble, and hay. Only the things of God will withstand, will remain, will stand the test. Only what you do with love from your heart and in obedience to God is gonna remain in the great testing. None of that other stuff matters. I've had 2 friends over the past year. Their houses, their things burned down to nothing, but they still had their life. Matter of fact, one friend just a week or so ago, he texted me. He was like, "Oh, pray for me. My house burned up, and even his business tools were in his home." He said it all burned up, but I still have my life. It's my season. That thing took me out. He's like, everything's burned up, but I still got my life. It's my season. Because he realized that those things can be replaced. Yes, it's painful. It's painful, but at the same time, it can be replaced. Who knows? He might be shifting. God might be shifting him to a whole nother career, who knows? We don't know. We know that it didn't happen without God knowing, without purpose. We know this. But when the steps of the righteous are ordered by God, nothing that happens to us is random. Nothing. This is my 7-year update. It might sound like a ramble, but I'm just telling you what I've experienced. You always have something to give. I don't care if you own food stamps, no stamps, got a bus pass, a big wheel, a Bentley, whatever. I don't care what you have or don't have. If you living in a cardboard box or a mansion on the top of this hill I'm looking at, you always have something to share. Don't be selfish, and don't hold back because of your circumstances. Because the seed you sow is the harvest that you're going to reap. I don't know if any of you saw my post last week. Excuse me. And last year this time, I had rented a car for a day because that's all I could afford. Because I needed to go from Virginia to Atlanta for a job interview, a flight attendant interview to be exact. But the point, I rented it for a day because that was all I had. So I had it a few days to take my journey. When I came back, this young man that I had been kind of plugged into for a few months, he was like a son. God put him under my wing. He was homeless, and I would help him the best I could. And so it was extremely cold. It was around the New Year. Y'all know it was cold, real cold last winter in Virginia. And my heart was aching for him. I was living with my family, so I didn't have a door to open to him, but I did. I had this car door. And so literally, I allowed him to stay in that car for about a week. And I know it was through the New Year because he went to New Year's service with me and we still had it. And I didn't want to take it back because I knew he was standing there, and I would let him in and I would cry all night while he's in the car. And then he would encourage me in the morning when I would come out. He's like, "It's all right. It's going to be okay." And, when it was time for me to take it back, I didn't want to take it back because I'm like, he's encouraging me while he's sleeping in a cold car. He was like, "Look, you got to take it back. Thank you. It's been a blessing." Blah, blah, blah. He was very appreciative. And so I took it back. I forgot about it. I forgot that the whole thing happened. This was a year ago. Last week, one of my Facebook Live posts popped up of me in the car. And I was like, "Oh, that was that rental car. Oh, Lord." And I began to think about my journey with that car. And I was like, "Oh, wow. This young brother was sleeping in that car." And I just stopped and I just cried because I realized that as I was waking up in this condo, that someone opened the door for me because they could, out of the kindness of their heart. That me opening that door to that car was a seed sown for what I was going to need a year later. I don't care what you have or think you don't have. You always have something to share. Anything that you have more than somebody else is increase, is an abundance. If you got one M&M and they have no M&M, and you can split that bad boy in half. I'm trying to tell you. I'm telling you this for a reason. If you're watching, if you're listening, you need to know. What I learned is a 7-year update that everybody's agenda is not pure. Just because people in church don't mean they love God. Just because people not in church don't mean they don't love God. That's real important. Ooh, baby. Because I'm telling you, and when I say church, I don't want people to think I'm bashing the church, because no, not all people that I'm connected to from church are bad. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is based off of experiences overall. The overall synopsis is these church folk are out of control. And I'm not talking about just going in 1 or 2 churches and been to church for a week and somebody hurt my feelings. No. I'm talking about years, a whole 39-year lifetime of churching, and seeing that church folk just be on some other stuff. And they will use up your gifts and your talents and won't think nothing about you. They won't pay you or give you an honorarium or offering, whatever they're trying to call it, but will drain your gifts and your talent, will drain you. And then talk about you, excuse me, when you fall off and you're having a hard time, when in essence they were supposed to be blessing you. You should have never fell off, because they were supposed to be blessing you. I'm trying the best I can, Vonnie. I'm doing the best I can with the Holy Ghost on my side, okay? I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, baby. And so, just know where you're supposed to be and when you're supposed to be there. Because God might send you to a church, not necessarily be a member and, oh, everybody's so sweet and nice. You might just be on assignment. He might have sent you in there to set order. You think you in there to get a word. He might have sent you in there to drop a word. Now, be appropriate. The Spirit of God is not unseemly. You got to be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. Don't just go in trying to usurp the whole authority, flipping tables in people's churches, but being led by the Spirit of God. Now, whether they receive it or not, it's still neither here nor there. No matter how you come, if they don't receive it, they just don't receive it. But your obedience is key. Just discern where you are and why you're there. Because what it looks like is not always what it is, and vice versa. Be not deceived by nothing you see or hear. Be tuned in to the Lord, because He's going to let you know straight up what it is. You're going to see even when you can't see. Right. No, don't try to take people's stuff over. You don't want it no way. And so, but I'm telling you, these church folk out of control. And I made a post earlier today that, you know, sometimes, and I'm not talking about somebody just being totally helpless and a leech. No, I'm talking about me in particular. Somebody who's either just trying to get to the next place, invest in a business, you know, sow into some, build ministry. I'm talking about somebody like me, not a bum, a leech. No. Somebody who's progressive, who's moving, who's trying to build. Church folk, they'll look me right in my face and be like, oh, we praying for you, da 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 da. But the people that we call the street people, the sinners, we so call them, very easily rolling off the lips, they have shown me the most love, genuine, giving and compassion. Just like this woman whose place I'm in now. I don't even know her. I don't know if she go to church, don't go to church. She ain't preach no sermons to me or nothing. She just said, go meet old girl and she gonna give you the key. And she gave me 2 instructions. She said, get some rest and let us know if you need anything. Period. That's been a week and 2 days. And she has not called me, text me a week and 3 days. Twitter, nothing. Trying to figure out what I'm doing in her house and what. No. She literally, I came in here and I rested. That's church. And then I got some of these local churches or people that I know from the church here or whatever who knew that I had a Christmas Day eviction date. They called to check on me to see if I found anywhere to live. As far as they know, I could be not in a condo on the alleyway, but in a book bag out on the alleyway with a bean bag. Because, people will build a whole house outside with boxes and bean bags and lawn chairs and stuff. I could literally be on the alleyway with a bean bag, as far as they know. But yet they worry about what church I'm going to. Don't worry about what church I'm going to. I'm at church. I'm at church ocean. I'm at church sunrise and sunset. Every time I lay my eyes on it, I cry, weep, and give God the glory for another day and for allowing me to experience His greatness. I'm at church when I see the homeless people on the corner. If I can get them a sandwich or a drink or something, then that's what I'm doing. I'm at church that the young lady who let me in, the owner's assistant, what church she go to? None of them. But when I needed to move my stuff, she said, hey, I can help you move your stuff. I didn't even have to ask. If I need anything, I just let her know. She cool. She does whatever she can do for me. If women don't even know me from blue, black, or purple. People give me the keys to their house, codes to the doors. They don't even know me. I could have been in here tearing the place up. But yet I got family and friends in church. All of them in church. Who would see me outside, or if they let me in, they would treat me dirty. And I'm not mad right now. I'm just telling y'all. I'm giving y'all the 7-year update. I'm just telling you. It just sounds hard because it was hard. It is hard. It's crazy. But I'm just, like I said earlier, I don't make the news. I just report it. Yep. Just gotta praise them and know that you sowed a seed. It's coming back around. That may be from who or how you think, but it's coming. Oh, trust me, it's coming. So what I also learned is, no matter what people do, I have to continue to be authentically myself. I have to continue to love, continue to give, but I also have to hear God in my giving, because sometimes when you are gifted to give, you can give recklessly, meaning just giving because you can and not because you're really supposed to. And it does have boundaries. I'm learning that the hard way. Because sometimes God wants to teach these people something, just like He has taught you something, and He doesn't want you to look like the savior in this situation. Excuse me. And this isn't just about giving money. This is about giving your time, your talents, about just anything. And talking, just sometimes just gotta, don't answer the phone. God is like, they didn't heard enough. Now they just gotta do. Because the teacher doesn't talk during the test. They gotta be tested. So you gotta just be quiet. So, for all my profound, prolific givers, be led in giving. And I took this one like a woman. It hurt. But, I would go to God, oh God, I don't get this and I don't get that. And he would be like, well, I gave it to you and you gave it away. Oh, I'm so tired. He's like, I ain't tell you to do that. Go use all your time and energy on that project. I did not tell you to do that. So if you're tired, get somewhere and lay down and you figure it out. So to all my givers, say ouch, say amen, keep it moving. Sometimes we have just given out of our own desire to give, but not necessarily a God need to to give. 7-year update. God is always in control. No matter where you find yourself, I don't care how it looks, good, bad, or in the middle. Yes, sometimes our disobedience can put us in some janky situations. Sometimes our obedience can put us in some seemingly janky situations. Oh, I'm so P-Town janky. But guess what? The grace and the love of God covers and all of that, takes care of all of that. So just remain obedient, remain prayerful, and no matter what you're going through, God is there. You're not alone. No matter how it feels. Like, I'm even with what I'm dealing with now. Oh, girl, right? Baby, say amen, honey. Hashtag your neighbor and say, I ain't doing that no more. That's a long hashtag. But yeah, I had to learn it. I had to eat that one. He was like, yeah, you gave it away. I gave it to you. I was like, ooh. So I just want to encourage everybody that no matter what people do to you, keep loving. Keep being who God told you to be. If you don't know, keep seeking out who God is in you and through you, and not through the articulation of others, because people will mess you up. They'll tell you some good stuff about you that ain't you. They'll tell you some bad stuff about you that's not you. You know, you got to hear God. Whatever that looks like for you. Like for me, hearing God is getting quiet, taking in the sunset, sunrise, taking a walk, breathing in his air, or just sitting quietly and listening to my brain and see where it goes. If you just sit quiet, your brain is going to tell you what you think about who you are. Like what it thinks about, the go-to thought when you're sitting quiet. That's who you are. That's what you think about. That's what you consist of. You know, hearing God about who I am consists of me staring in the mirror. Just going in the mirror. This might be TMI. I'm telling y'all, try it. Get butt naked in the mirror, literally, and look yourself straight in the eye. Your eyes, your soul will tell you how you feel. How you feel about yourself. There are moments I get in that mirror and I do that and I just begin to weep. Like, oh God, then I have to go check that. Like, what's going on? Why am I weeping? There's times I get in the mirror, I'll just begin to smile. And I feel good and I feel great. Okay. What's that trigger? What's going on in my life right now? Whatever that is, I want more of that. Don't hang around toxic people. I don't care who they are. Mama, sister, cousin, brother, uncle, auntie, whoever. Get away from toxic people. Toxins are contagious and they will kill you. I think that's enough said on that. Enjoy your life. Enjoying your life does not always mean having to spend a lot of money. Figure out what enjoying your life is and do it. And if it requires money, then do what you got to do to allocate the money, or believe God that he can supernaturally. I'm telling you, this is my 5th time flying to Honolulu, Hawaii from the East Coast. My 5th time taking that flight. So that's 4 round trips. And the trip I'm here now, and whenever I leave off the island, that'll be another round trip. Well, I don't know which way I'm going, but my point in saying that is, I didn't have any money anytime I did it. I've even taken this trip. A couple of the legs have been business first class with my naughty head self. Why? Because I willed it to be. I was like, God, look, okay, you telling me I'm going here, there, whatever. Look, I want to go first class. I know I might not can go all the time, but why can't I? But I can go some of the time. And I'm just saying, thank you. Can I go first class? And he works it out. I've flown first class several times. Have I ever been able to afford a first class ticket? No, never. Do good. Believe God. The harvest you desire is the seed you need to be sowing. A lot of times we say sow where you want to grow. I say sow where you want to go. Sow where you want to grow. You get it? 7-year update. Obedience is better than sacrifice. Period. No more need to be said. The foundation of God's Girl Entertainment is love God, hear God, obey God. I just don't know what matters other than that, because that's the foundation for everything else that we could ever need or desire. When we love Him, we hear Him. When we hear Him, we obey Him. And then He does His part. He always does His part. He may not come when you want Him, but He always right on time. Write the vision, make it plain. In its proper time, it'll speak. Though it seems like you're waiting on it, you're not waiting on it, because it's for an appointed time. Sometimes we get the vision, the dream, the message, and we want it now. We think it's for now, but it's just to write it and to study it. And don't do things in your life that don't line up with the vision. Don't waste your time on things that don't line up with the purpose. It's a waste. On people that don't line up with your vision and your purpose. It's a waste. It's not that you're better than anybody. That's not what it is. Because you might not line up with somebody else's vision and purpose. And if you can see that they don't, do them a favor and get out of their way. Because you don't want to hold them back. 7-year update. I know it was a bit of a ramble, but I thank God for the few of you that were on here giving feedback, because you let me know that it was on time and it was in time and necessary. So I love you. I appreciate you all the time. Look, y'all, please tag, share, follow, share with everybody. The ones you love, the hate, the ones you're undecided about, share. Because we all need it. We all need this. I'm not talking to y'all. I'm talking, it's coming through me. I need them. Sometimes I got to go back and listen to the videos and be encouraged myself. Because it is truly God's leading when I come on and I do these messages. So in any case, I love you. Aloha. Y'all know I really get into the holidays. For those that do, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever y'all celebrating. I don't know. I celebrate every day. Every day I open my eyes and take a breath. It's a reason to say thank you, God. Merry Christmas. Thank you, Jesus. You know, I'm grateful every day. I give every day. I receive every day. This particular Christmas, again, I don't buy gifts because I give every day. But it has been an exceptional one of receiving for me in so many different ways. And it's odd, but I see it and I get it and I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. So in any case, if anybody wants to sew into the movement, God's Girl Unfiltered, all my info is on the title of the video: PayPal, Cashapp, Venmo, my P.O. Box. I receive your blessings. Anybody who sows, I always pray God's multiplication back unto you in whatever form that you need it. It's not always money. You might need peace. You might need joy. You might, need a supernatural breakthrough in anything. And I always pray that, the supernatural favor on my life will also rest on you. The testimonies have been tremendous, but most of all, the testimonies of people's lives and hearts and minds being changed and coming into their own journey of faith has been the most phenomenal for me, because that's what it's all about. It's all about the Faith Chronicles. It's all about this journey with God and walking it out day by day and letting Him unfold the purpose and the plan that He has for you. So in any case, I love you. Thank you for listening. Aloha. I love my afro. It's the afro of my dreams. Hey y'all, I'm going to find some food. God's girl is hungry. All right, I love you to life. Thanks for listening, God's girl.